Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Welcome back to Dirt Rally 2.0. This is a special episode in which I want to talk quickly about making your own paint jobs in the game. Those are called liveries, and I have spent the last couple days creating my own, and I wanted to share that with you. There are certainly awesome tutorials out there, and several of which I used to learn how to do this, but I used rallygamer.com as one of the sources because it has all the downloads pretty much that you need. So the NeFS edit tool, definitely download that one. The Ego PSSG Editor and manual, download that one. If you're going to use Photoshop, there is a plugin. I chose GIMP because I don't have Photoshop, so GIMP is a free online, very powerful photo editing piece of software. And then the other thing you need is to know what car you want to edit. So I decided the Mini Cooper, since I have been racing with that little thing for 36 stages to this point. My whole fourth season was Mini Cooper. And the code right next to that. So you find your car on the list and then the code next to it. Here is MCS. So that is important to know. So MCS, Mini Cooper S, right? So that's what it stands for. Pretty easy to remember. So we want to find the NeFS file in the game folder. Well, where's the game folder? So next step here, we're going to open up your computer, and mine is a Steam game, so I go to Program Files 86, and then Steam, and then Steam Apps, and then Common, and then Dirt Rally 2.0, and then Cars. So in this folder are all the car files. And so if I look down, I can find, unfortunately not in alphabetical order, but I think you can, you could sort it alphabetically. So ascending, descending. So it would be all alphabetical. So you can just go down to MCS right there. So that MCS NeFS file is the one. And so what we want to do is copy that. And so right click and copy, and we'll put that into another folder. And so you can put it anywhere. I think I threw one in my downloads folder, and I just called it Custom Livery Tools. So it's kind of everything I want to do with these custom liveries. And then created a folder called Original Files and another one called New Designs. So under Original Files, I want to paste that. Boop. And this is so if I mess up, I have backups, right? So you can't open an NeFS in just anything. So we're going to want to do something. These folders, these files that are already here were from me already doing this, but I want to show you the process of that. So we need to use a tool that we just downloaded from that site called the NeFS edit tool. So we're going to open that. And so we can go to, excuse me, we want to go find that file that we just downloaded. So where is it? Well, go do some searching around. So we saved it wherever you saved it. Mine was downloads, and then custom livery tools, and then original files, and then right here, MCS NeFS. So open that up and click open. It's going to basically unpack it, and then under MSS and NeFS cars, we've got models and MCS, and we want to go to the livery 00 right there. So, and then it has, let's see if I can move that over, a textures high and a textures low. We want to use the textures high folder. And then the ones that we need here, these are all wheels, by the way: gravel, snow, tarmac, and wet. But what we need is the file right here, which is the PSSG file. So we're going to grab that and extract it. So with that highlighted, we can go up to File, or is it Tools? No, it's Item, Extract To. So we want to extract that, and then we'll extract it to this same folder, the original file. So I've got the original, and then we're going to extract it, and we end up with all these new files that are basically unpacked, right? Extracted. So we've opened the NeFS into the editor, and we've extracted it. So that program lets us extract all the files out of there. And we're looking for the PSSGs, and those are the ones that we can edit. So at that point, we can go into Photoshop or GIMP, and GIMP is free online, and I don't use it that much, so it's taken me a little bit of time just to kind of figure it out. I just use simple Windows Paint for so many things, but I think it's time for me to kind of start using this more often. I'll get more familiar with it. So we want to, in GIMP or Photoshop, we want to open that file. So we want to make sure we go to the, so it's going to be under, in the Windows system, it's users, and then your name, and then down wherever your folder is. Mine's in downloads, and then we're going to look for the, we're looking for the PS, it's going to be under, let me think, it looks so different in this format. So, custom livery tools. There we go. Original files. Oh, one thing I forgot to do was, let's go back to original files. So it'd be a good idea to Control A, select all, Control C for copy, and then go to your new designs folder, and then I would Control V to paste. So you have backups. So the original ones we're not going to touch anymore, and we're going to use all of these now to edit. So that's what I should have done first, and then in GIMP I would have opened up the new design, which I can still do because I haven't chosen yet. New design, and then we're looking for the main DTGA DDS file, the main D. And if you click on it, you get a little bit of a thumbnail on the right side, and it should just be the white body parts of the car, as well as the engine parts, and everything else are dark. But so we're going to go ahead and open that. You'll get a little pop-up window. I'll drag it over to show you. Uncheck the load MIP maps. Uncheck it and click OK. We don't want MIP maps, and here we go. So this is the file of the little Mini Cooper, which you can see it's got some shadow and some dirt naturally underneath the sides, the rocker panels, as well as the top, the hood, the back end, and the front, the nose here, and then the two side panels, and everything else I don't want to mess with. These are the actual photographs of car parts and things like that, which is really cool. I assume their photographs are so realistic. I don't want to mess with that. Although I could go in and, I could zoom in. Let me go up here to the engine and show you what I'm talking about. I could zoom in and I could change those. I could paint those spark plug wires to match my theme. Which would be cool, but it's so realistic looking. It does look like a photograph that I don't want to mess with. I don't want that to look dumb. So I think I can get away with it on the side bodies here. So so then you just have to use paintbrush tools and fill tools and text tools and things like that to paint and create stripes and things like that. Or you can also copy and paste, which is exactly what I did. I wanted to create a Richard Petty throwback NASCAR paint scheme on this little Mini Cooper. So Richard Petty, the king of NASCAR, the most wins ever, famous for his red and blue number 43 in the NASCAR series, and one of my favorites growing up, watching that car fly around the track and win so many races. And so I'm going to, let's see if I can just find my final version. Let's close that and let's open recent. No, let's open recent, and I'll show you if I can find it. Should be one of these. Probably the DDS. I'm not sure why that's not opening. Let's try opening the XFS. That's what I'm going to get. Okay, so this is what I ended up with after a couple days of work, and it was the graphics were just copied and pasted. So what I did is I saved all those graphics from the internet, and then I just would open each one, and then I know there's better ways. You can save them as layers. I'm just not an expert in GIMP. I just did it old-fashioned way, which was copy and paste, and then just move them in. And then the colors, I took the graphics from one of the cars had the actual color. The blue is called petty blue. That's how famous it is. The red, I don't know, but definitely kind of an off red. But I just used the dropper tool. So up here under, when I painted, I just clicked on the dropper tool and clicked on that color, and it would make that color as a custom color so that I could go in and paint those panels in those exact colors. And so one thing I didn't know how to do that I learned, which was really fun as a computer and technology teacher. I love this stuff. I created this top one first and put the sponsors in and the Goodyear logo and the STP and oil treatment thing here. And then I copied and pasted it and put it on the other car. However, of course, it wouldn't fit because it's backwards. So I learned how to flip it in GIMP. And then after I flipped it, I did have to flip all the graphics. The graphics ended up being backwards. So I had to flip those as well. Then I realized it's a lot faster just to not flip them and just copy and paste the because they don't there's no backwards on the words. There's no, I can just drag and drop them, if you know what I'm saying. I don't have to flip them. So and then I put the number on the roof with my name. And the first mistake I made was I put my name on the wrong side of the car because I was thinking drivers were on the left. That's in America and some other countries, but this is a British car, so the driver is on the right side of the car, and so I had to put my name on the right, so it was over. And then the other mistake I made, it was back here in the back of the car. I was thinking this was the front of the Cooper. I was wrong. This is the front of the Cooper, so I had to move my name to the front right here. So there's just a few little things that I. Also, I forgot to paint. There's a few things I didn't paint. I didn't know what these two things are, and I painted one blue, and I forgot the other. Those are the headlight. They go around the headlights, and so this is not the final result because I did go back in. And I'll show you how I did it. Just like choose my blue, click OK, and then went to paint bucket and then painted in. I pretty much painted everything that was white. That's kind of a gamble because I really don't know what these parts are. But process of elimination, after you save them and go drive the car, you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot that, or I missed that, or that's wrong. So now in GIMP, then we need to export it. So first I'm going to save it real quick. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to export it. So this is going to be file export as. And we're going to put this back. We're still in the new designs folder, and we're going to export it. So, and the file type that we need to export it as, this is when we get a chance to kind of change the file format just a little bit. You have lots of choices, and it needs to be the DDS. So, and that's what pops up right here. So I'm going to go ahead and export that, and then it's going to save as the DDS. So now what do I do? Well, I've done all the graphics that I want to do. Next up, we're going to jump back into the, let's see what I have here. Back into the Ego window, and we want to import this. So we're going to go to textures. Now, oh, and I forgot. You have to have, I tried this, see, textures import, it's not highlighted. You actually have to have the file open, and I think it's the actual original. So I'm looking for this one right here, the original. Let's see if that's correct. Yeah. So you have to have the original PSSG file in the window, and you also have to highlight the file that you're going to replace. And so here it is. Now this would be white because I've already done this, but this would be all the white original. And then I'm going to go to textures and import and go choose the one that I just did, which was right here today, and import it, and it's going to come in and look like this. Okay. So if the file comes in, I think it does, I should probably just go through that process. So I just did, where'd I put it? I need to make sure I put it in the right place. These are the, make sure you're in the new designs, so you don't want to copy over anything. So it's this TGA, and then there's a hidden .dds right there. It says that's a, when you hold your mouse over that, it says it's a GIMP DDS file. I'm going to open that, and then, oh, well, that was the wrong one. Okay, so I need to find the right one. So texture, import, So it wasn't that one. As I've messed around with this, I've lost like track. It's hard to keep track of where all your files are. So I did call this one right here. I called it this one on purpose so I could open it. And there we go. Just so I wouldn't mess up and I could find it. So you can see the two things that are painted blue here now. This is the one that I just did. And now that that's back in the program to the Ego PSSG program, now I can export it. So we want to make sure we can get this back into the game. So once I have the textures imported, and I can export that back. And so now it's going to export it out as a saved file, and it's going to be main DTGA. Just click save. This is under the new designs folder. It's going to say, hey, there's already one. You sure? Yes. There won't be if you do it for the very first time. So, and then now what do we do? Well, there's another program. See if I can find it. Where do I have it open? And it's not necessary to use this. Okay, and if I can't find things, what I did is under my downloads folder, I should have a link. I do. I have a folder on the desktop, so I can just go right into it. There's another program called the Livery Organizer. And when you open it, it looks like this. And what you do is on the left side, you go find the game location. And I went in and found the car that I wanted because I know it's called MCS, Mini Cooper S, Textures High 00 PSSG. And then this is a picture from the game that shows you this is what the first livery looks like. And it only gives me 2. I don't know why, but I don't really care. I liked Livery 1. That's the one that I raced with for a whole season. Livery 2, I probably will never use. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose Livery 2. And then over here is where I go search for that file that I just made, and I click install. And when I do that, it says, hey, there's already one. Do you want to override it? Well, that's because I've already done it once. It won't do that the first time. It'll just overwrite it. Well, yes, it will, because take that back. There will already be a file in there, and you are overwriting the original file. So that it's just kind of an organizer. You don't have to use that. You could literally copy and paste. So if I went into my new designs and copy and pasted it, and I actually have a folder where I actually made my finished ones. It's kind of a duplicate. I've got duplicates of duplicates of duplicates in here, just learning this process. So, but once I find it, like this one, I could copy that, and then I'm going to go back into the game itself, so this is if you don't want to use that delivery program to organize. If you're only going to do one, you really don't need it. So I'm going to go back into program files, and then Steam apps, common, Dirt Rally, cars. Now in this case, I created a folder. I don't want it. These are NeFS files, and these are the originals, and I don't want to mess with that. So I'm really surprised that it picks this up. But if you create a new folder, just new folder, and name it the 3-letter category of your car, and then just paste. And here I was playing around with 2. This is the GIMP one that doesn't work. It doesn't read that in the game. It needs to be the PSSG. You can see there's no thumbnail for that, but it's a PSSG file, and so the game can read that. So once it's in there, you want to jump in and go test it, make sure it works. So give me a second. I didn't have this fired up, but we're going to jump into the program and make sure it works. So I've got to switch it over from monitor 1 to monitor 2, which takes me just a second. And once we get it, which, come on now, let's go. Come on now. So usually it's really, this game I noticed is I have to close it in one monitor and open it back in another. It's the trickiest game I have to switch monitors with. All the others are just a quick Windows shift right arrow and it switches monitors. So I'm going to go to free play. I need to select that monitor real quick. Sorry. Sometimes working with 2 monitors is, it's worth it. It's always worth it. So I do not want to jump into an event. That's not what I wanted to do. So let's back out of there. What I want to do is go to free play and then down to free roam. It's just a chance to see the car. That's it. And then here's the car, the Mini Cooper. I've got all the others. But the Mini Cooper here, I want to go to liveries and choose the second livery. What it doesn't do is change the thumbnail in the game. And I don't know why, but it's just set up that way. There's probably a way. I'm not too concerned. That would be cool to learn how to do that down the road. And then I just simply jump into this quick little Dirtfish track in Washington, just a few states away from me here in Idaho in the US of A. And I'm just hoping that the graphic took. So it looks like it did. So we're going to go ahead and hit A just to get out here on the track and just give it a look. There's a couple things that didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted. One of which is my white lines don't line up between the door panel and the rear quarter panel. That white line is a little higher in the on the back, and it was straight in my GIMP file, but I'm sure I could go fix that, and I can see some of my imperfections on my lines and things here and there. But that's the first thing I noticed, and also the hinges. I tried to paint them. Maybe I shouldn't have, because they probably had a graphic, a chrome graphic. So my hinges turned out blue on the doors, which I don't know. Maybe that's okay. They really maybe should be red so you don't see them. Other than that, I think everything looks good. Pretty happy with it for my first livery, and to be able to race around in a car that I painted is really cool, and I love that. And the storyline in my head is, hey, I just finished first place and was promoted from clubman up a division, and this was a congratulations gift from Petty Racing. They gave me a Petty livery on my Mini Cooper as a celebration, and maybe things to come. Maybe I'll get a Petty sponsorship down the road. So if you're interested, definitely look up online the steps. That will be probably more clear than mine. I used 2 or 3 different sources until it kind of made sense to me, and wrote it down on a pad in kind of the order, the things that I just shared with you, the order that I did it in. And some people are more complicated, and others probably more simple. But super excited, and my mind is just spinning now on what designs I could do. It's kind of unlimited. But I think it would be fun to be racing my own Sceme with my own team. So it's not really a rally racing, graphic on a car, but who's to say what's right and what's wrong in a rally car. So I think it's cool, especially me as an American, bringing a little bit of America to the world rally stage. So hope you enjoyed this quick little video on, or not so quick, on how to do a new livery for rally, Dirt Rally 2.0. I'll catch you next time. For now, though, Mr. Johns is out.